Welcome back to another Q4 video intended to help set you up for success so that your business can thrive during the most profitable time of year for Etsy print on demand. Today's video is all about answering some of the most common questions and situations that you will encounter during Q4. Everything from production delays to lost packages to gift messaging and more. So make sure you stick with me for all of them so that you don't miss out on any details. In case we haven't met yet, my name is Mandy, and as the owner of multiple six-figure businesses, including Etsy print on demand shops, my goal is to provide you with strategies to simplify the journey and scale your business faster so that you can stop the overwhelm, start making progress, and thrive with your print on demand business. In my previous videos, we talked about my top products that performed the best in Q4, design hacks for easily creating holiday designs that will sell, and how to avoid some common mistakes. Now that we are officially in Q4, you may be thinking, how am I supposed to know what to expect? And what do I do if I run into problems? So I wanted to make sure I have you covered, and I've put together a list of the most common questions and situations that happen during Q4. So let's not waste any more time and get right to it. First question, what happens if my customer doesn't receive their package? If it was recently marked as delivered, let the customer know that there are often cases where packages are incorrectly scanned or delivered to the wrong residence. This can actually happen during any time of the year, but happens a lot more during the holidays, especially in the US, where the post office quite often gets super overwhelmed the closer we get to the holidays. Ask your customer to kindly wait a few extra days, check with neighbors, and to let you know if it still hasn't turned up after that. Most of the time, it actually does. But if for some reason it doesn't, I will always go in, duplicate the order, and issue a new order in Printify to expedite getting them a replacement faster. Then I go into the original order and request a refund by letting Printify know that the customer did not receive their package. A response from them can take a little extra time, especially when things get busy during Q4, which is why I take care of the customer first. Yes, you are fronting the second order on this, but in my experience, it's worth it. What happens if a product is out of stock when an order comes through? First, if I see that an item is out of stock, let's say a size or a color of a sweatshirt, I will usually wait 24 hours before processing it in Printify and check again. Sometimes these out of stock notifications are just temporary. If they are truly out of stock though, I will then check to see if an alternative is readily available from another printer within the Printify network. One of the reasons why I love working with Printify is that for many items, they have multiple options because they have a network of print providers. If there is a direct replacement, you can easily select that from in the options that Printify gives you in the order directly. If for some reason you don't see it there, or if you want to change the provider on the original product, you can also change it by going back to the original product listed in Printify, click the little dots to the right next to it, and select Replace. From here, you can select the product and then choose a different print provider if one is available. It will prompt you to update the design file since some providers scale designs differently. Once you're done, you'll then click on Save as Draft. You do not need to republish it on Etsy when you are just changing providers for a product. If you already have an order for this item and you need to use the new provider, you'll want to click into that order in Printify, click on Edit. Then you'll want to delete the existing product listing and then add back in the updated version. Just make sure you select the correct matching product and size, and then you can process it as normal. If there is no replacement at all for the item in Printify, you can check with other providers. Ornaments, wrapping paper, and certain colors in shirt brands are the most common culprits. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I always make sure I have a backup available if possible with other providers like Printful or others so that you can try to avoid having to potentially cancel it altogether with the customer. If you do need to use another provider, you can delete the order in Printify, and then you'll just need to manually place that order with your other printer. I'm concerned about order volume in Q4 and having to pay for orders before I get paid from Etsy. As part of starting a print-on-demand business, I recommend opening a business credit card, and Q4 is a perfect example of why. I get that it isn't always feasible for everyone, and that's okay. But if you can, it will make things so much easier for you. I keep all of my expenses on my business card so that it's all in one place, and then all of my income from Etsy goes into my separate business bank account that I then use to pay off my credit card regularly. If you're looking at opening a business credit card, I highly recommend one that comes with rewards. If you love to travel, you can earn miles, and if you're a homebody like me, you can find cards that let you get cash back on all of your purchases. I've literally earned back thousands of dollars simply by using a business credit card for all of my Printify transactions. I've linked the one that I used down in the description below. By utilizing a business credit card, this helps to ensure that there is seamless production with your orders and that you don't have any delays due to a limit of funds from your bank account. What happens if a customer receives a damaged item or a bad print? Sometimes things happen, whether it was a problem coming off the production line or it happened in transit. The first thing you'll want to do is apologize to the customer for any issues with the order and ask for a picture of the problem. Ask for a close-up if you need it of the issue, as well as a picture where the design is clearly visible on the item. This is for your own protection against people who may try to scam you for a refund, but it's also going to be helpful when you send it to Printify. As soon as you have a visual confirmation of a clear issue, regardless of what it was, immediately duplicate the order in Printify and get a new order processing for your customer right away. Let the customer know that you've got a replacement in progress and that you will follow up with a new tracking number once you have it. Then, on the original order, request a refund for it in Printify. You'll want to attach the pictures that you received from the customer and also let them know that you've already processed a replacement and that you're simply requesting a refund on the original order. As we get closer to the holidays, Printify will eventually have a cutoff for replacements and will simply just do refunds. So save yourself and your customer the wait time and potential delays and just get a new order going for them right away. I've got crickets in my shop. It's supposed to be Q4. Where are my sales? Number one, look at your listing stats. Are they getting visits? If not, they're either not getting seen or there's not enough interest in what you're offering. Try a new listing with a different design style or a different niche, and always make sure you're researching the marketplace to understand what's actively in demand and selling with customers. On the flip side, if you're getting visits and favorites but no sales, this could be due to a variety of factors, and sometimes it's just a matter of time. Remember that for a conversion rate of even 1%, that means for every one order, it takes 100 visits to get that one order. So just keep that in mind. You can also try doing some A/B testing with these listings, duplicate your listing in Etsy, and swap out your mock-up photos. I have literally worked with shops that have simply swapped out that first photo and replaced it with a trendier mock-up that really made their design pop, and it turned into a bestseller. Be willing to experiment and try out different tactics with your listings. And finally, stop focusing on sales. Focus on continuing to build your knowledge of what's actively selling in the marketplace and continue building your design skills. Stop overthinking your shop by staring at your stats every single day. Etsy sales will constantly ebb and flow. Look for trends in your shop over time, study what's working in the marketplace and where you're seeing traction in your own shop, and then continue to explore making more of what is working. For a deeper dive into other tips for shop fixes, I've linked a helpful video for you as well, where I also cover titles and SEO. What happens if my order is taking too long in Printify? Check for a delay with the print provider. In Printify, you can go to their help section, scroll to the bottom, and then click on network fulfillment. I recommend bookmarking this page so that you can refer back to it during Q4. If your provider shows a delay, just know that it's going to take a little bit longer. This is not out of the ordinary, especially as we get closer to the holidays. Let your customer know and apologize for the unusual delay. If the production time is still within their normal number of business days, just keep an eye on it. Printify will not intervene unless it's considered overdue or if it's showing as having an issue. If that does happen, reach out to their customer support so that they can check in with the print provider directly. And also you'll want to communicate with your customer that there is an unexpected delay and that you are working with your printing partner on getting it resolved and that you will update them as soon as you know more information. Also, make sure you look at your ship by date in Etsy and adjust it if needed. You don't want your orders to get into an overdue status because that can negatively impact your existing or potential star seller status. If you do have to change that, make sure that you are also communicating to your customer why you're doing that and what they can expect from you in terms of communication. My customer wants a guaranteed delivery date by Christmas. Under no circumstances should you guarantee delivery. You do have the option of offering priority shipping with some providers, as well as Printify's newer express shipping option with certain products and providers. But even these are not guarantees. As we talked about earlier, sometimes things happen in the mail system that you don't have any control over, especially when things are really crazy during Q4 with all of the packages getting shipped everywhere in the world. Starting the week after Thanksgiving, I put a notice in my shop banner, my announcement, my message to buyers, all of my listings using the Etsy bulk edit function, and indicate my cutoff for Christmas. Once that cutoff date passes, I then set my production time to 1 to 2 weeks in Etsy, meaning that it's going to show customers that their potential delivery date is after Christmas. And I changed the message in my Etsy shop to indicate that the cutoff has passed and orders may not arrive by Christmas. For Printify, the standard cutoff for domestic orders is usually about a week or so into December. I know with express shipping, they're going to be extending that out a bit, but I personally tend to keep things a bit more conservative in my shop just for my own sanity. I'd rather have customers expect to get a package potentially after Christmas and then get pleasantly surprised if it happens to arrive before then. My customer wants to return or exchange their item, but I have a no return exchange policy. This comes down to personal preference. I carry the same external facing policy in my shop, meaning that is the policy that customers see. If an item is personalized, there are no exceptions. My ability to sell a sweatshirt with a dachshund on it that says Lulu is pretty non-existent. However, if it's a more general design that I could potentially resell and there's nothing wrong with it, I will sometimes offer the ability for the customer to do an exchange, but only if the customer is willing to purchase a new item and send back the original at their own expense. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but most of the time, if they truly just want to exchange it and move forward, they will go through those steps and it's not a problem. Other exception is sometimes a nightmare customer. Sometimes you just want them to go away because there's no pleasing them. And in certain circumstances, if they're just really not happy, I will mark the order as canceled in Etsy so that it refunds them. By using the cancellation method, they can technically still have 48 hours to leave a review, but if that window passes, then they cannot leave any sort of review, which is usually what I'm trying to avoid in those situations. Should I go back to previous listings and start adding in keywords like Christmas gift, or change the attributes in Etsy to Christmas or Halloween, even if the design or product is not a holiday theme? Your title, tags, and attributes should be relevant to the product and the intended audience. For example, I do not recommend artificially inflating your Christmas gift options by stuffing your listing with Christmas keywords for an item that is not specific to Christmas. Not only does Etsy frown upon it, but it will also be a waste of keyword space once the holidays are done. Focus on keyword phrases in your titles and tags that are relevant to your customer and the niche or theme of the design. Think about how they will be searching for products like yours, and only select attributes that correspond with your item. Should I keep adding seasonal designs or focus on evergreen, aka non-seasonal designs once we're in Q4? Well, now that we are in Q4, you should be done with adding Halloween designs, and I would even be starting to wrap up fall-related designs. If you are planning to make Christmas designs, make sure they target a specific niche. Do not waste your time trying to make super generic Christmas designs. If you want some more inspiration around that, make sure you head back and check out some of the other videos in this Q4 series. My advice though, add some holiday themes into whatever niches you're already selling in, but don't go crazy with them because they have a much more limited run. Continue listing and getting more evergreen designs up for your niches. This will pay off not only during the gift giving season where people aren't buying Christmas shirts for someone to open on Christmas Day typically, but they'll also serve your customers year round. What do I do if a customer adds a gift message to their order? You now have a couple of options. First, you can keep the gifting option turned off entirely in Etsy. This will prevent most messages, but if you do have a customer reach out or leave a note on the order, you can simply let them know that you work with a printing partner and are unable to offer gift messaging at this time. The other option is that Printify now offers gift messaging as an option for products that come from several of their print providers. Much like their new branding inserts, if your print provider offers the gift messaging, you can easily set this up now within Printify. You'll want to make sure your gift messages option is turned on in Etsy first, because Printify is going to use this extra field for populating the message. Then on the Printify side of things, you'll go into your store settings, then click on gift messages. You can go into edit template if you'd like to add an image or branding onto the insert that the gift message is printed on. And you can also change the font that's used on the message when it gets populated in the box. You cannot change the box or the placement itself, just the font and what goes around it. Save that, and then you'll click on Enable Gift Message for eligible orders. Then when an order comes in, you'll see the gift message insert added onto the order, and it will have the text from the customer. If you've got branded inserts turned on in Printify, you'll see that as well. If you want to see the video where I take a deeper dive into other branding options for products within Printify, I've linked that for you too. And that, folks, brings us to the end of my list of common questions and situations that arise during Q4. I also have my ultimate Q4 guide available in my digital store that I have linked below. It's full of design tips, popular holiday niches, ChatGPT prompts, a listing calendar to help you know what to list and when, and my checklists for both Q4 prep and Q4 survival. It can be purchased on its own, or if you're part of my Simply Thrive Club, it has already been added to the resource vault for you. And if you're looking for a little extra encouragement and support and want to be surrounded by fellow print-on-demand entrepreneurs on the same journey, I would love to have you be part of our growing membership community in the Simply Thrive Club. Throughout Q4, I have set up office hours within the community where I will be available live a few extra times during each month for the rest of the year within the membership community to answer questions and support members navigating these last 3 months of the year. If you're seeing this later in the year and still want to join us or be able to pop in during my virtual office hours, we'd love to have you. Access to past challenges and live calls are always available in the group. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you want to learn more about my strategies for thriving in your print-on-demand business, make sure you've got the notifications turned on for my channel so that you don't miss out on any of my content. And in the meantime, be sure to check out the dedicated playlist with my full print-on-demand masterclass course right here on YouTube, as well as my time blocking series for an even deeper dive on the critical steps for success. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you in the next one. If you're looking for more ways to continue the journey and stay connected, I'm so excited to invite you to my brand new membership, the Simply Thrive Club. Unlike other programs, this is not a course. In fact, it's not even a program in the traditional sense. And that's because all of the steps that you need to build your print-on-demand business can be obtained for free on my channel through a variety of videos and playlists that I've put together specifically to help you on your journey. My in-depth course is not behind a paywall. So instead, this new membership is all about community with ongoing challenges to drive growth and a support system for accountability to keep going. It's goal setting to maximize your pockets of time and stay organized so that you can thrive even amidst a busy schedule. And it's action taking with expert resources and tools in order to master skills necessary for scaling faster and more efficiently. That is where the magic happens in your print-on-demand journey. Your willingness to clarify your goals, commit with consistency, and adapt your mindset and your approach so that you understand what will work and what won't. This totally new platform is a community that is off of social media and away from spam and distractions, including a community app. I've created over 80 plus professional mockups with more on the way. There are monthly accountability challenges because did I mention I'm all about consistency? And live group calls each month where we can talk about all things print on demand, time blocking, setting realistic goals, finding process efficiencies, and so much more. Be sure to check it out, and in the meantime, keep going, keep learning, and keep growing on your print on demand journey.